Burberry scars, stripping Perry on, living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss. Sauntering, maitre d' staying flabbergasted. Her ass about the size of an infant's casket.
Yo.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
What
Welcome
the hell's
back.
going on?
We are here. We are sadly grandma-less, but we're back. Welcome to another episode of a show made for wrestling fans by two wrestling fans.
Tonight.
Top Rope Wrestling Talk. I am, of course, the one and only, as you can see, the GOAT of TRWT, the soundboard by God extraordinaire, the jack of all trades, the master of none, the South Philly Sycho, your homeboy, D.O.M. Get better, Wendy. Get back here. Let's go. Fuck yeah. And of course, my right-hand man, the founder of Top Rope Wrestling Talk, the salt of the earth of podcasting, the biggest MJF mark you will ever fucking meet, the high-class one, Bruce.
Yes, I am.
And he knows it.
Yeah. What
See?
the hell's going on, man?
Oh, you know, same stuff, different day, different backdrop. I was telling Brucey, I love how it looks like we're live on the cards. That's just
Yeah. That is it was unintentionally perfect.
Yeah, thank you, Pepsi Phil. These worked out beautifully.
Yes, they did.
Well, hey, have a good night at work. Sucks you have to go in so late, but enjoy.
Yeah, right? So there was there was a lot that happened this week. Honestly,
Yeah.
there really was a lot of shit that happened. I will admit I tried watching Monday Night Raw, new year, new me,
I did too, actually.
I was trying and I fell asleep at of the Alpha Academy match. And I was at Brock either.
I got a little further than that, but I was fast forwarding, so it was like I get to a match that I didn't really want to see, and I was like, let's just skip to the end. Okay, I know who won. Move on.
Yeah. So I didn't make. So I guess New Year, same me.
Pretty much.
I guess that's what we're gonna go with. So let's talk about all this freaking NXT news. Let's start there. So we found out via Sean Ross Sapp, whatever the hell his name is. The Road Dogg, Jesse.
Yeah, Road Dogg.
William Regal, you fucking retards. And then they also just released Samoa Joe for the second time.
Yeah.
It's looking, and this is almost like a straight retaliation. Triple H, like they're taking a shot at him, like saying, "Hey, guess what? This isn't yours no more." Man, I don't know. It's bad. Like they're literally. We were talking about this in the chat. Like there's black and gold left. Champa is roster or leave. He had a good goodbye message on Instagram with a picture of him walking away, and it just said good.
Yep.
So is he leaving WWE? And if he is, where would you like to see Tommaso Ciampa go if he leaves?
Wow, that's a good question.
It is, and I'm asking it right now.
I know, and I'm thinking about it, and it's like, from seeing his post on Instagram and seeing it on Twitter, I wasn't thinking about him leaving. It sounded more like he was just like, "I'm done. Like that's it. My title's gone. My run is done. I'm out of here. Bye, guys." Just walk off. But if you had to go anywhere, I'd like to see him in MLW. There's a lot of guys there that he's either never fought or hasn't fought in a while, and I think that would be kind of cool.
Like to
And
see it.
if he has a 90-day, it would be
You good?
damn you.
We back? We good?
Yeah,
So what were
yeah.
you saying about the 90-day?
I was saying if he has a 90-day clause, like if he's left and he's got to wait it out, it kind of runs into the return window for ROH. And could you imagine getting like the Sicilian psychopath back?
That would be huge.
Yeah.
That
That would
would be
be a
huge,
huge way for ROH to make a comeback.
right? And especially after, his run in NXT boosted his fucking career. Like before that, he he was a huge indie guy. Like and
Mhm.
about him, like the hardcore wrestling fans, like you and me and Wendy and the guys.
Yeah.
We all knew who he was before he got there, but for everyone that who he was, it just elevated him that much more, and he's just that much, especially for a returning ROH, in a few months. What for? They said April, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like,
So
if he were to have walked out after this last show and he's waiting out a 90-day, he'd be free in April. ROH is supposed to return in April.
I think his contract might have been up. He ran it.
I don't know. I heard about Gargano, but not him.
How would you feel about a DIY reunion on the Indies?
That would be kind of cool. I'm not even gonna lie. That would be pretty freaking cool.
Making a tour around the Indies. Maybe even showing up in Impact for a little.
Yeah.
And the same question to ask about Roderick Strong. Like people said that I've heard that he re-signed in contract or whatnot, but he doesn't make it sound like he signed a contract. He just lost his title to, so he could be out. And
This is
and
true.
and what if thing like he quietly let his contract expire, you know, and he walks away, and then he's the Bucks' third, and O'Reilly and Red Dragon and Adam Cole,
Yeah.
because there's no return date on Kenny.
Right. Right. But you could you could almost reunite the Undisputed Era. That wouldn't be half bad.
Yeah, there was a trademark that AE they are believing it's the name for their group, but I can't. Is what it was. I don't know.
This is when
What
we
the, is
need
what?
Wendy.
Yeah, Wendy, Wendy.
Stat
Um.
girl.
So what are your feelings on the whole beginning question at hand? What's your whole feelings on the whole NXT? Basically, You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I just lost you for a sec. Sorry.
So you didn't even hear my question, did you?
I heard. What are your feelings on the NXT?
Yeah, and on the NXT Black and Gold basically being kicked to and is no more because it's going deeper than talent because it's going to all guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Is Sean gonna be next?
it's painful to watch either way because like even Hafiz and I have talked about this many a times. Like, we're black and gold guys.
I am
That's
too.
it versus two. There's a bunch of us out there, and it's hard to watch. Like, I'm not sure why they changed it in the first place. Like, yeah, it could be retaliation. It really could. Would put it past Vince, but to see all the talent going now, Road Dogg is gone. Now William Regal is gone. What the fuck is
Timothy
NXT?
Thatcher
But what is
is another
NXT
one.
without William Regal?
They listen. I honestly think Vince got pissed off. T became more popular than Raw and SmackDown for the longest time. For the time, NXT was the A show, but the A shows the people that are coming up to the main roster, and this is Vince's way of saying these are supposed to be bigger stars than mine.
Yeah, but that's it's like being mad at your little brother because he's more successful than you. Even though he's helping you out, even though he's making you look good, whatever, you're just mad because he's more successful. This is supposedly all WWE, right? So if NXT shines, everybody else does. And then you can take that shine, you can put it on another roster, and then you'll get it. But they didn't use it that way. And now they're just tearing it apart. And it's like, and like, even if you didn't want William Regal on NXT anymore, you could have made him a general manager or something on one of the main shows. You don't have to have Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville arguing or repeating themselves on both shows. You just don't. You could have put him on Raw and left him on SmackDown or vice versa. You could have done something with him. Instead, you took William Regal, who built this from the ground up, and basically learned the side of the American dream, and you kicked him out because you had a color change. That just don't feel right.
No. They Cody Rhodes Throne Breaker with Braun Breaker on their Year's Evil show. They had the old X, and he came out and kicked it, and
he kicked the X and he
blew
broke
up.
it. Yeah, whatever.
Basically saying black and gold is gone. Your pastels are here to stay.
Long live pastels, bro.
Do you think it's too early for Braun Breaker to be champion? Do you think they're strapping a rocket to him too soon?
I think he's ready as far as in ring, but when it comes to like gimmicks, promos, that sort of stuff, maybe it's too soon. The dude can go. I'll give him that much. I mean,
he's better. Look who his freaking dad and his uncle are.
Well, now they don't mention
Steiner.
They don't mention
Steiner.
that. We know who he is, but they don't mention that. Oh, no. We're not even going to put his daddy on TV. We're going to make that a digital exclusive on YouTube. And how come nobody complains about that? Like, why do I have to watch YouTube just to see Rick Steiner?
Right?
I'm sorry, that just popped in my psycho brain as I was thinking about it. But it might be a little too soon for the guy, but it depends on, are they going to give him... Are they going to follow the same mistakes they made with Karrion Kross, where they built him up and they pushed him and they pushed him, and then once he won the title, they were like, "Okay, you're on Raw, go," because that made no sense. And if they do that to Braun Breaker, who is not the veteran that Killer Kross, because I can use that name again, he may suffer.
They're doing exactly what they said. They're going to turn WWE into all homegrown talent. I mean, granted, they're giving tryouts to like Roxy and a few others, but 97%, 98% are going to be all homegrown talent. I mean, you saw with the nil deals, they put out what 12 or 15 nil deals, some crazy number like that to college athletes.
Yeah, it was a large number.
It was a lot,
It was a
and
ton.
they're going with that movement. Do you think that this could actually hurt them in the long run?
Absolutely. And it's not even like just the nil deals in particular, but if this is where you're focused on and you've basically slammed your doors to anybody in wrestling, anybody in independence, anybody anywhere in wrestling, there is some great fucking talent outside of
Mhm.
WWE and AEW. So how far do you take it? I'm not saying he's leaving, but let a guy like Jacob Fatu get done with MLW and say, I want to move up. And WWE is going to look at him and say, no. After practically everyone in his family has been in that company, you shut your doors on him. Look at if somebody like Josh Alexander leaves Impact and wants to move up, they're not going to look at him. These are major talents in the wrestling world who have developed a huge fan base and a huge buzz that you have said no
Mhm.
to immediately. So it's not the fact that you're trying to grow your own talent. That's fine. But what if it doesn't work? Then what do you do? The
Yeah.
bigger problem is you don't have a backup to it. That's a WWE problem overall. You don't
Yeah.
have a backup to anything. You have the 4 horsewomen in your women's division, or 3 because Bailey's hurt. Once they're done,
Yeah.
what do? You don't know. No backup.
Yeah.
You have these nil deals in place, and you're trying to bring in homegrown talent. You're trying to make athletes wrestlers, and that's fine. But what happens if it doesn't work? You don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the business that they are and the money that they make, they have no plan besides plan A. Like plan A, we're going to bring in college guys. Okay, what if that doesn't work?
You're right, but at the same time, we don't know the number of homegrown talent they actually have in the PC right now. They could
True.
have over 300 students, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, that's
in
true.
there already at the PC that are working because the Rock's daughter's still at the PC.
Yeah, last I heard,
She
yeah.
has she hasn't debuted yet, so they probably still got quite a few. And I
That's I
and
mean,
and
their main roster is getting thin. Now NXT is thinning out. And it's like if you got these people in the PC, now is the time to push them through because you're coming up on Royal Rumble. How do you get 30 men
they
and
don't
30 women? They have maybe 20 women on the entire main roster.
they don't have enough women.
And men is not much better. At least that's why if you noticed a lot of these people that have declared for the Rumble so far, they're tag teams. Like the Street Profits are in, Dom and Ray are in. All these tag teams because
Mhm.
they don't have enough singles competitors to put 30 men in there and make it
Mhm.
believable. Nobody's betting on Jinder Mahal this year. You know what I'm saying?
Right? No one's betting on gender. That is great. And they just need to let Finn Balor and Ricochet walk away with their heads held high
Be
and take their
nice.
talents elsewhere.
It would be nice, or you
It could
could
be
let
back to
them
Japan or
at least in the least. And I know I'm going to say it again, but in the least, let them take what they did on NXT, especially Finn Balor with the Prince gimmick and all that, and come to the main roster with it and see how it works. Because you already tried all this shit with guys like Finn and guys like Ricochet, and it didn't work. So what if what they were doing on NXT did? At least let them try that. Have some sort of dignity or opportunity where as opposed to just kind of like being there and doing
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
What does Brian say here? WWE will regret all these moves and releases. All the things they've done, along with all their hubris, is going to bite them hard years from now. Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying.
It's not gonna be
Your rosters,
instantaneous damage to them, and like in the next coming months or weeks or even
no.
years. It's gonna take a few years, but once these guys and Charlotte retires, Becky retires, and they leave, or
Then
they get
what,
to the
right?
point, where they're too old, and all they do is make appearances because they got to have the legends.
I mean, even women like Toni Storm are so sick of Charlotte, they just up and got on a plane and left.
Bought her own ticket and said, "I'm out."
It was like,
Deuces,
oh,
yo.
she asked for her release. No, she walked out of an arena and she got on a fucking plane.
No, she said, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool.
You're cool,
fuck
and fuck you, I'm out.
out."
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah. She's like, "I'm out, mother bitches."
Ivan, what's happening, bro?
What's up, man?
Shout out to the League of Extraordinary Podcast, the Professor X himself. We love you guys. The high class and the psycho of podcasting. Yes, yes. Or you can just read the nicknames below on the cards, man. I'm loving that shit. Yeah. This looks so legit. I'm sorry. It's better to be lucky than good sometimes, folks. I don't know what to tell you.
It really is, because that was fucking...
This is total luck.
Total and utter luck.
Kadrian, what's happening, homie? We're just sitting here talking about some of the stuff with WWE, because that's the thing, like, the horsewomen are not getting any younger. Bayley hasn't even got back from injury yet.
Mm-mm.
And it looked like you were moving on last year, because go back to WrestleMania and there's Bianca holding up a title. There's Rhea with a title. And you're thinking, okay, they finally understood. They need a plan B. Mm-hmm. Now we're heading into Royal Rumble this year and we're back to Charlotte and Becky.
Yep.
Okay, fine. But then when you had it already set up with these guys to move forward and you have Toni Storm getting on a plane and leaving because she's tired of waiting her damn turn, what do you do next? Oh.
Yeah.
They could say, oh, we'll just call more women up from NXT because the NXT's women's roster is deep. But when you do that, it doesn't really seem to work out.
No, nothing.
How'd Tegan Nox and Ember Moon do when they got called up from NXT?
Dude, like, honestly, like, going back to the stuff we were talking about with NXT and how this is like a retaliation and a jab at Triple H, I honestly think Vince buried those NXT megastars on purpose. It makes me feel that way now. Like, that shit was all on purpose.
Long before 2.0, we had always said, like, what is the problem when a guy gets over on NXT, comes to the main roster? Why don't you just use him the way you're supposed to use him? And maybe the problem was Vince McMahon was too fucking egotistical to realize that, oh, well, my son made a great talent. I'm going to use that great talent and I'm going to succeed. He'd rather make the guy look like a failure because he's going to make money anyway than move this guy up the line and actually succeed and maybe even make more money in the business and move your product forward.
I feel like, I honestly feel like when the Shield got to the main roster and those three guys took over, because they did. And after that, Vince saw what Triple H could build and he got scared. He did. He got scared. He wanted his hand in building these guys. He wanted his hands in it. He wants to be like, I did that. Yeah. I did that.
Because just think about what has transpired from that WrestleMania when two NXT women held those titles up on the grandest stage of them all until now. We've had Rhea knocked down by Charlotte and then put off into this tag team with like Nikki ASH, and now they've got drama. We have Bianca, who, yes, she had some defenses, but as soon as they could, they got Becky back and she was gone in less than 30 seconds. And since then, now she's arguing with Liv Morgan over whether or not she deserves a title shot. Well, didn't Liv lose 2-3 title shots in a row?
Yeah.
And Bianca still got to argue?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then on the other side, you know, and then you're just sitting there with Charlotte, and Tony Storm gets an opportunity, and I actually enjoyed that little bit of a build and angle between the two of them. But once she lost, I was like, what do you know? Same shit, different day. Only Tony didn't see it that way.
I don't know, but me and Ivan are on the same fucking page tonight. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you look at it, it shows like we're all vibing. I'm just explaining. It feels like
Yeah.
as soon as Vince
No,
McMahon saw
absolutely.
Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair with a title in their hand at WrestleMania and people cheering, he got fucking worried. And since then, he's knocked the two of them down. He's torn apart NXT. He's done everything he could to just basically dismantle everything that Triple H built. And at this point, it's like Black and Gold brand. Rest in peace. Thanks to Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had to lighten the mood.
Before we move on from WWE,
Here we go. WrestleMania plans. Flair and Banks, and then Becky and Belair. Okay, 3 of the 4 horsewomen, and if Bayley comes back, it'll be Becky versus Bayley.
Yep.
Mark my words. Royal Rumble's coming. Guess who's coming at Royal Rumble? Bayley.
Yep.
Guess who's winning the Royal Rumble? Bayley.
I think she's the last one of the horsewomen that hasn't won the Royal Rumble, I believe.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think
Charlotte's done it. Becky's done it. I'm pretty sure Sasha did it.
I think so too. So in other WWE news, I read a very interesting article. We all know Freddie Prinze Jr. was a long time writer for the WWE, and he was
long time writer, long time fan.
Yeah, and he was in Titan and stuff. So he had an interview, and he basically said, "You know what? Fuck it. I've been gone long enough. I'm fucking spilling the beans." He said when WWE was negotiating with Fox, I'm paraphrasing, so if I missed something and someone's read something, don't jump all over me. I'm just paraphrasing.
Give us the gist, high class. You're good.
Yeah. He basically said there was a gentleman that came in and he interviewed to be the COO of WWE, but they wound up giving it to Nick Khan, and this guy worked for Fox. And he basically said they tried selling WWE to Fox. So all you people out there that say WWE is not for sale, Vince already tried to sell them once.
Yeah, I was one of those people, by the way, and even I have backed off of that.
Yeah, he tried selling them to Fox, and Fox didn't want to pay the price that Vince was asking for the entire WWE, so they just put their money into SmackDown. They basically, in the way I understood it, in a sense of a way, Fox kind of owns SmackDown. Like they pretty much literally bought SmackDown in a sense.
In a sense, they bought more creative control over SmackDown.
Yes.
And thank you, Kadrian. I couldn't remember if Sasha won a Rumble or not, but it doesn't surprise me.
No, not at all.
But yeah, they pretty much they had gone in and they had asked for creative control for this and that, and they paid a little bit extra to get SmackDown on so that they could kind of mold it the way they wanted it. Whereas USA is just like, no, we'll give you money, do whatever you want. And you can kind of see that. Yeah. You can definitely see that. By the way, I don't know if anybody does, because Bruce and I tried, but if you watch Raw and you see Vince McMahon doing these backstage segments with Austin Theory, he looks fucking terrible. He does. I know, it's like this weird Austin McMahon remix. I don't know why they started that, but it's been going now for like weeks, apparently.
From what I've seen, it's pretty stupid.
It is. I think I caught that segment, and I was just like, yeah. So Austin Theory and Finn Balor. Wow, I've never been so uninterested in this match. It could happen anywhere else, and I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, no,
On
no,
Raw, mm-mm.
no. Like, I'm surprised both of those guys still work there with the size that they are.
hmm And Austin Theory
Sorry,
is
not
kind of
sorry.
goofy. I like him, but he's kind of goofy.
And I'm worried about Carmelo Hayes as well. The dude's an amazing wrestler, amazing in-ring
Yep.
freaking talent. He's proven it on NXT right now, but as soon as he goes up to the main roster, I am very nervous.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at stress, age, steroids, and coke will do that to a person. Vinny don't look well.
Wow.
All right, I've dabbled in a few of those, and I don't look as bad as Vince McMahon. Now, granted, I'm not as old, but
Yeah.
maybe not the steroids, but this is all natural, bitches.
Right here.
Welcome to the gun show. Don't make Brucey and I give you the Bucks pose live.
Oh, I have to go this way.
Oh, wait.
Oh shit.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, I agree, KJ. Like, WWE's got to be for sale. And I'll be honest, I hope the same partnership that worked with The Rock to get the XFL comes in and gets them too.
There's talks of the Rock buying WWE. There's serious,
And I'm all for it.
talks.
Because you know who The Rock would work with? Triple H.
Uh-huh.
That's enough for me. You know, The Rock would be like, I got movies, I got XFL trips. You got this, right? All right, I'm out.
And do you know who else has the vast working knowledge of running a wrestling company or business and handling talent?
Like everyone in Rock's family.
The Rock himself.
Him too. Yes.
He's literally been around the business his whole life.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It feels like the perfect match. I know he couldn't just buy it outright, but as I said, you know, he and a group of partners already got together to buy the XFL and bring them back next year. And if he wanted to find that type of group where they go in and just buy out Vince and WWE altogether, I'd be a happy guy.
I just wonder what it would look like.
Oh, God. I think we'd get the SmackDown fist back. That's for sure. It wouldn't even be that like pixelated fist either. They just grabbed the one from the archives, like Big Show fist, and put it back up on top. It'd be great.
Like, I still can't believe we're talking about WWE, but that's okay. It's actually been some interesting conversation.
Raw will be war once again.
No, I don't know, man. I think
Hey, Peter.
A lot of shit would change for the better. It really would.
It would. NXT would make sense. Because they still haven't figured it out. Because you're asking, you know, if they bring Braun Breaker up now, or you know, what would they do with him? I don't think they know. But they've already got him as champ. They've already pushed him all the way up the card. They've already done whatever, and they are setting him up to be the same NXT call up that they had through the entire Black and Gold era. But so this doesn't feel like they're retooling to fix things. They're retooling to bury people.
Here's the thing. These guys now, they're starting out with the shitty names that Vince wants to give them already in NXT. So instead of them being their names that they've always gone by and are popular by, and then getting it changed on the main roster, their names aren't going to get changed. So in a way, it could benefit.
I guess
it could benefit the wrestler. I should say.
It could.
I'm sorry. The sports entertainer.
You're fine. Don't bother. But there's still a good chance, a very good chance that they give these guys corny Vince names and they change these colors and they come up on the main roster and they are let go in a month. Or just buried. Because it's not about the names and it's not about the colors and it's not about where they came from. It's about the WWE system and how no matter what you make it look like, it's fucking broken.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't know what to do with Adam Cole on a main roster, it's fucking broken. When you can't figure out what to do with Keith Lee, it's fucking broken. When you build Karrion Kross into what he was, and then you bring him out in a gimp mask looking like the lost member of Demolition, it's fucking broken.
And take away Scarlet.
And take away Scarlet. Most importantly.
Why?
Because even her in some BDSM gear would have got some ratings. Even if he walked out in that mask. You didn't even bother with that. This is not rocket science. This is simple shit. Hey, let's put a hot chick in some leather and make her walk to the ring. That's simple. That's ratings. You don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Their system is going to be broken
Hunter
no matter where they bring these
it.
people. Hunter did no.
Hunter
thrived.
No,
he was like,
hey,
go ahead, get in the cat suit, put on the claws. Yeah, I like that. Go. Yeah, not Vince.
Oh shit! I didn't know that, Brian.
Which one?
The bottom one.
Oh, yeah. Thunder Rosa in an interview with I think it was with Renee, said something about wanting to go to WWE, and they wanted her to be a ref.
Not a wrestler or an entertainer.
Not a wrestler.
An entertainer.
A wrestler.
Entertainer. Oh my god.
Oh fuck me. We've been having this all week, ladies and gentlemen.
So as we move on down the show.
Moving on,
let's talk about some AEW. Let's talk about some AEW Dynamite and how
TBS no less.
On TBS, and it was still Dynamite. It doesn't matter what fucking channel it's on.
It was a great show, and you kind of expected that from Dynamite, but they really put a lot into this one, you know?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna start right now with this. Jurassic Express was not supposed to win the titles last night.
I don't think they were. I don't think they were supposed to win on
They
Wednesday.
They weren't scheduled to win them until Ray Phoenix dislocated his arm. But okay, that's the last I'm gonna mention that.
That's happened to me. That hurts.
I cringe every time I think about it. Like I saw it, I was like, and I was scrolling through Facebook and people got it in slow motion, and I'm like, oh my god.
That was what got me. Because like when I first saw it, like I mean it's a table spot, and table spots always just make you cringe. They always look gnarly. But then when I saw it slowed down, you see the arm, you're like, It's a good thing I'm not a rookie, or I'd be puking in the corner. But I was almost. It was.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I'm happy for Jurassic Express. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
This has been a long time coming for them. But I don't think it was supposed to happen last night.
I don't think so either. Because of the injury, and then B, they didn't even finish with like a tag team move or anything. It was just Jungle Boy getting the quick roll up at the end of the match, and that didn't feel right either. Like maybe it was supposed to happen, but I just thought to myself, like,
no,
that was on the fly.
Yeah,
I could be wrong, but it felt like it was on the fly. Like the match itself was fine. It was good. I'm happy for Jurassic Express. I feel horrible for Ray Phoenix, but I mean, sadly it happens,
because they still had their program with FTR going. FTR was going to be the ones that took the titles from them.
They had the program with FTR, and then earlier in the show, they had ran out during the Pillman match and got into it with with Aleister Black. So maybe there was something leading from there, and like somehow Black cost the titles. Brody King shows up. They have a feud, that sort of thing. Like it felt like they had so much built for the Lucha Bros moving forward, and then it all just kind of came to a halt. And if that doesn't have to do with that arm, I don't know what does.
Yeah. Yep. That was disgusting.
It was gross.
It was
It was
gross.
fucking gross. But on a not so disgusting note, on a much better note, congratulations to the first ever TBS
I
champion.
was just gonna get to that.
I am proud to say that I had called Jade from the minute this field came out,
Oh,
and I was
hell
right.
yeah.
Because as you can see on the screen, I am the GOAT of TRWT for a reason. I
I
predict
think we,
these things.
I think we all kind of figured that. You know,
There were a lot of
I
doubters.
figured there was, but I figured the finals was going to be what the finals were, which was her versus Ruby. Um, I figured Jade was going to win, but I also could have seen Ruby winning. You know, but I'm happy for Jade.
No,
The thing,
all the happiness for Jade in the world. I really,
absolutely. They need to keep sticking her to short matches, but keep working with her. On like a long-term match, she's still green. She's got
yeah,
all the potential in the world, and she's still green.
yeah.
You know, and she still makes
Now,
mistakes here and there. You know.
oh, I know she does, but she's still a tremendous up and
Oh
coming talent.
hell yeah!
And I gotta say, congratulations. We gotta give you a round of applause. You earned that and more. So. Jade,
Hell yeah!
Jade, baby.
It was
And,
amazing.
there were people that were saying that, like, oh, she's green, she still hasn't lost, and this and another. And I'm thinking, okay, true, but it's the TBS champion or the TBS championship, which I don't want to say they don't use mid card, but it is to the women's championship what the TNT title is to the
The men's
AEW
champ.
title.
Yep.
And the TNT title has been put on some guys on their way up to possibly becoming pillars to see what they could do with it.
Yep.
This is the perfect title for the perfect person. Jade is on her way up, undefeated. She's got a great look. She's not a bad wrestler. She's still unpolished, but she's not a bad wrestler.
No, not at
So
all.
let's give her this title so we have something new and fresh going on and see if she can improve so that maybe by the time she drops this, we can put her in the world title picture.
Yep. That's
Because
exactly what it is.
Britt's not going to hold on to that title forever. Somebody is going to beat her probably before Jade, and then and it's probably going to be some babyface, maybe Thunder Rosa, but then you're going to need somebody to challenge Thunder Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
And who makes a better heel than somebody she already had beef with?
Yeah. All I know is Ivan just made a great point. He really did. At least it's a homegrown talent that won it. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what I mean. If you look at AEW,
look at all their champions.
Look at the list of champs. Look at
They're all
Hangman, Jurassic Express,
They're original.
Jade, Britt. I mean, Cody's got the TNT title. That's the one.
But they're all originals.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, Cody is a token WWE guy in the midst of homegrown talent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is his company.
And I know Battle for the Belts is coming Saturday, and Sammy's supposed to get his rematch. And I'd love to say, watch Sammy take it back, but we haven't heard which match yet. But one of the two matches scheduled is supposed to be rescheduled due to protocols.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe not Saturday, but if Sammy gets this opportunity, I think he wins that back. And now you have a group that is all AEW homegrown talent, all with titles. Like, there's not a one. Right now, there's one. There could be zero by the end of the week if this match goes off.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, I understand people get their kicks out of saying, like, WWE guys, WCW light, whatever. Here's your rundown of champions. It's all their guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, you got a cowboy, you got a woman that looks like the real life version of Storm, you got a dentist, a dinosaur, and Tarzan.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got the American Nightmare.
And then there's Cody.
And then there's Cody. What? Do we think it was a lose-lose situation with the TBS title, given the popularity of both Jade and Ruby? No, not at all. Not at all. You know, to these people that are saying like, "Oh, well, Ruby was a mid-carder at WWE." Were you watching? Because she was not. Ruby was a catering girl in WWE. She did not wrestle at all. Mm-hmm. She is in AEW. She is putting younger talent over. She's getting
doing what she wants
herself
to do.
over, and more importantly, she's getting in-ring time on TV, which is all of these things she was not getting in WWE.
Yeah,
and last I checked, she didn't retire, did she? Is her career over?
No.
So couldn't she win a title down the line? They gave Jade the title. Jade's going to have to defend it. She's going to have to lose it. Why not Ruby take it then?
Listen, she is going to be an AEW Women's World Champion somewhere down the line. I will fucking put the goddamn stamp on it right now. Ruby Soho will be the AEW Women's Champion at one point.
Outside of Britt and Mercedes, how many women can even claim to be on Thunder Rosa's level? Well, like in AEW? I mean, you got Deeb, you got Sheeta, you got
Statlander.
Yeah. You got, oh Christ, I'm drawing a blank. I mean, Ty Conti is practically on that level. She has built herself to that level. She's had hardcore matches to get to that level.
Yeah.
She is Britt Baker 2.0.
You also got Jamie Hayter. That's fucking amazing. Abaddon, Kira Hogan. I mean, come on.
I have to apologize for not giving Jamie Hayter the honorable mention when we talked about female wrestler of the year or breakout wrestler of the year in the females. I blanked, but she has been incredible since coming back to AEW. Mm-hmm. She looks better. She's more polished. She's better on a mic. Like, she has put it together, and she is one of those people on the rise too. So, you know, if they're not on Thunder Rosa's level, they're going to be there, and they're going to be there soon.
Oh, Jamie Hayter's there. Like, she hasn't gotten the opportunity. You put her in a ring with Thunder Rosa, and it's going to be pure fucking gold.
I mean, I see what you're saying, Brian. And please, everybody, keep the comments coming. But there are a lot of women on Thunder Rosa's level at the moment. You know, Britt Baker is definitely one of them, and I think that's where they're going to be going with the AEW with the women's title at some point. But there are a lot of women that have been built up to that level.
You know, and I can see, excuse me, I can see Britt dropping the title shortly. She's now gotten to the point where she doesn't need a title. She's gotten that over with the fans that I honestly think, as the heel that she is, she's better on the chase. She's a lot better on the hunt.
Ivan, as much as I love her, they can bring Maki Ito back when she will stop singing and join while her tag team opponents are getting the shit kicked out of them. That was a bad look.
She was like awesome.
Her tag team partners are getting their asses whipped, and she's still on the stage just singing away like nothing's going on. Like it's karaoke night at the bar where she's supposed to be in a fight at the bar.
Yeah.
Oh, but there's that women's division is good, and you would think with 2 championships, maybe now we get more women's matches on TV, and that would be good. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of opportunities and things like that, but getting back to the actual show, I mean, Jade and Ruby had a tremendous match.
They did have a good match. They did.
I'm not going to say somebody's buried or a mid-carder because they lost a tremendous match.
Yeah.
Are we going to say Bryan Danielson's a mid-carder because he lost to Hangman? It was a tremendous match.
That match was amazing. It was, the thing I loved about it is Everyone and their fucking grandmother on the World Wide Web said, "Oh, they've got judges. It's going an hour again.
Yeah, here we go. It's another hour.
It's gonna be an hour match. They've got judges, bro. That bitch
It
was
might
30
even
minutes.
be a draw again.
It was like 30, 40 minutes.
And I'll be honest, guys, I
It
wouldn't
was
have given a shit.
amazing.
I wouldn't have given a shit if it went another 60 minutes and it was another draw. I would have been just, cool, I'm here for this. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because look what we're watching. You know, that
But-
second match might have been more brutal than the first one. And the
Mhm.
first one was a war.
And here's the thing is Bryan Danielson, that win solidified Hangman as a true world champion.
Yeah.
Bryan
Absolutely.
Danielson just sent Hangman Adam Page over the fucking moon. You know?
I mean, could you just imagine? Could you just imagine the reaction if it went the other way and Hangman drops his title after one match that ended in a draw? Could you imagine the outburst, the outcry on social media if Hangman loses to Bryan Danielson and never wins a match after winning that AEW title?
Yeah.
We'd be right back on WWE guys again, and everybody be bitching and moaning.
Yeah.
Oh, see, all these AEW fans cry about no, not gonna happen.
No.
I know there were a bunch of you with your tweets all typed up, just waiting to hit send, and you were probably crying when you deleted that shit.
the thing is like the WWE guy tweets, but here's the thing: you're also getting the tweets that people are pissed off that Danielson didn't win. There's people that are just as upset that he didn't win that match and win the title.
You know,
because they don't think Hangman's a true champion.
People just think that Bryan sometimes cuts these promos, but he's not lying. You fans, fickle.
We are too.
Not as much. Not as much. I am not upset that Danielson didn't win. I am not upset that Hangman that Hangman is still your champ.
That match was awesome.
Even if he would have lost, in a match like that, I really wouldn't have had anything to complain about. Because because what the show that they put on was incredible. It was actually entertaining in wrestling. See how that works both ways? See, guys, it's all the same. It's all relative. If it's not entertaining, why watch?
Not getting into this right now.
Rampage needs another hour and give the women's division more time. Maybe.
I just think the women's division need their own friggin' show on YouTube. That's what
Rampage,
I think.
I don't know about Rampage. Like Rampage could stay the same, but I think women just need more time on TV. And now that you have two belts, you could have. I don't know how you would. Maybe you have them both defended, or you have number one contender matches and a title defense on one show. Especially Dynamite. If you can do that, then that's enough for me. I don't know. I want them to add more TV time, but when they do, I just keep thinking about WWE and that bloated schedule and the shit they're pulling. And I get worried.
They've got 2 shows on YouTube. 2 shows. They've got Dark and they've got Elevation. So why not? And I've said this before on the show. Why not take Elevation and make it an all-woman show? Put the women's title, put both women's titles on there, have them defended on there, but also have them on the main roster.
I'd be main
roster, main shows.
I hear my son whiling. I think he'd love it. DJ, you like that? Okay.
I honestly think that would put a big shut up to a lot of people saying that AEW doesn't showcase women's wrestling more. I mean, they definitely. Well, here's the thing. It's not that they don't, it's that people don't want to go to fucking YouTube to watch the women's matches. Is what it is. But you'll watch.
What is the problem with YouTube? I love YouTube. We're on YouTube right now, and you guys are here.
I don't get it. Some people, they'll watch Fox. They'll watch USA. They'll go to 3 different places to watch one product, but you won't go to YouTube to watch more wrestling from AEW because it's on YouTube, so it doesn't count.
You know, these same people are like, "Oh, did you see WWE's The Bump on YouTube?" And I'm like, "What?"
But you won't watch Dark and you won't watch Elevation.
Like, I understand Dark and Elevation have a lot of squash matches, so after a while, you're like, "Okay, I'm done." But if you were to make it
they could really add something to it.
If you were to turn it into like an all-woman show where things are happening and there's marquee matchups, then I think people would be more willing to tune in. And I don't know. Oh,
I think that would actually keep fans at the show longer. If they could permanently move Dark to Universal, like there's been rumors
I think they have
of,
pretty much.
like if they've moved that there permanently, they can freaking take Elevation on the road and make it a woman's show, and then just do all three of them on one night, just like they do already.
I'd be down. Like I said, if it means less squash matches and more actual competition and storyline between, like, no pun, the elite women in AEW, then yeah, I'll watch it. It's like people would say, well, Women of Wrestling's coming back and you can only watch it here or there. Okay, if I can, I'm gonna fucking watch it.
Exactly.
And I don't know if Ivan remembers this or if he's just setting me up because he's asking what's next for Hangman and for Brian. As far as Hangman is concerned, and I know Bruce is going to love this, I think the next challenger is MJF. We are headed to a Punk versus MJF match at some point. And that match will probably be for, a world title shot, just like Miro and Bryan Danielson at full gear. And MJF will be the first one to beat Punk. And at that point, he will get a title shot. Now, as far as Bryan Danielson, I mean, the sky is the limit. I pick a face you want to see him in the ring with. Anybody would do. Orange Cassidy. There you go. Probably a great match.
Danielson's he's another one in AEW. He doesn't really need a title. He really doesn't. He's another one, And
I mean, since he got there, I've been saying Sammy Guevara, so there's that.
Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff for him to do, and yeah, he'll be all right. He's just fine.
No, I see what you're saying about national television compared to YouTube, Ivan, but if you go back and you look at some of those AW Darks or Elevation, some of them get as many viewers as, like, NXT does in the ratings.
Yeah.
They're damn close. Like, if NXT gets 600,000 viewers, AEW Dark gets like 500,000 views. It's not that far off. Yeah. It would be more if there weren't hundreds of thousands of people complaining about fucking YouTube.
Yes, Brian, you are absolutely correct.
Oh, once MJF wins the AEW title, we're never going to hear the end of it, and he doesn't need a belt at all. That's true. But at the same time,
he's another one.
As much as MJF is in the forefront and all that, eventually the ring is going to get old, the shtick is going to get old, and he's going to need a title. He's going to need a title to validate all the shit talking and all the ring flaunting and everything. And he and Hangman are one of the original rivalries from the start of All Elite Wrestling.
All out. They had a match.
I mean, even the first pay-per-view with the Battle Royal, MJF thought he won, and Hangman jumped in and threw him out. All in. AEW's first pay-per-view, the first Battle Royal or Casino Battle Royal, where MJF thought that he won, and then Hangman jumps in and throws him out from behind.
Yep.
This has been going since day one. it's the perfect way. It's the perfect way to keep your homegrown talent in the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
It's the perfect time to change the title because I'm sure Hangman will have had some defenses by then, and kind of solidified himself. And then you can just cue the line of faces that come for MJF after that.
God damn, when the Salt of the Earth wins that title, it's going to be a great day in wrestling history.
We will never hear the end of it from Bruce.
No, you never will hear the end of it ever.
I'm
ever.
going to have to mute this man on a weekly basis. Like, no, we're done. Click.
Oh yeah,
that's 2, Brucey. 1 more, I'm kicking you off the street.
You're gonna have to go sit in timeout till next week.
But it'll be fun. It'll still be fun.
Oh man, that was great.
And can we just while we're on the subject, can we say a prayer for Pillman Jr.? Jesus fucking Christ. I thought Bruce made the greatest point about Pillman before we got on to do the show. He said what I was thinking and kept to myself because I was too busy praying for him while watching. And that was...
You talking about the stupid fucking mullet ponytail?
Yes.
Like, why?
Why would you pull your mullet?
Ponytail.
Get a ponytail. Like, yeah.
Why?
Bro, what are you doing? Like, no, that's not how a mullet works. It's party in the rear. Party.
Party, not ponytail, Brian.
It's business in the front, party in the rear, not pony in the rear.
Right? So, I brought this up as well. What if we see Julia Hart pull an Alexa Bliss and turn dark and join the House of Black?
That would be fucking amazing. Oh my god. As sweet and wholesome and happy-go-lucky cheerleader as she's been for like a year now, if she just goes full on dark and walks around with half her face painted and leather and all that shit, following like Aleister Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, those guys, that might... I'm not saying wrestling. I'm not saying from like an in-ring standpoint, but just gimmick standpoint, that might be a better turn than Alexa Bliss. Because Alexa was always a little bit. Yeah. She was like the Harley Quinn of WWE for the longest time, and then she just went full on dark. So you kind of expected that, but for Julia Hart to do it,
you could see it happen.
Yeah, for Julia Hart, that would be like, oh shit.
Like, man. Oh my god, I come up with this shit. So Brody King and Malachi Black have a tag match against the Varsity Blondes, and Julia Hart's there.
Yeah,
lights go out at like right towards the end of the match, and they come back on, and she's got like a black dress and like and she just smears like black paint on half of her face and costs the
and like spits that black mist in Pillman's face.
Oh, and they lose. Oh my god!
I mean, again, I would feel bad because this does feel like the perfect group to bring Abaddon into, and she doesn't get enough run. But at the same time, this would be fucking epic.
Oh my god!
I think I moved my camera.
Take my ideas and pay me. Here's my ideas. Take them, Tony. Now pay me.
Give me my money, TK.
Oh man,
we co-wrote this. Give us our money. Where's the money, Tony?
Dear God, please. Please take my money. No, give me your money.
Imagine Julia Hart and Abaddon together
in that scenario where she turns. Oh,
that would be the Bunny and the Babe on steroids. Like,
yeah.
If they think they're dark and spooky, like House of Black Julia and Abaddon would be like, hold our cup of blood.
Right? That would be crazy.
That would be amazing, Brian. Thank you. Oh, man. Whew. I'm spent now. Like, fuck.
Right? That's a lot of shit to talk about.
But I do want to bring up, because it just feels like this is news that should have probably came out forever ago.
Okay.
Did you hear that Cody finally owned up to the Agogo thing being a completely horrid idea?
Yes.
I'm gonna
Yes.
let me. I have the direct quote in front of me, and
Yes.
he says, and I quote, "I can, on record, just go ahead and say I regret almost everything about the Anthony Agogo angle." Blah. Sorry about that, guys. A white guy talking about race relations who has an American flag tattoo on his neck, which is fucking disgusting. He doesn't say that, but I did. I can see why people would use the term tone deaf when it came to that. Tone deaf was one of the terms used, yes.
Yes.
I mean,
And many others.
it's one thing. Like, I could even see if it was Miro, and he was bashing America like he did back in his Bulgarian brute days, and you came out and you said something. It's like, all right, we're down for this.
Yeah.
It just didn't. None of it ever felt right with a go-go. None of it.
He had a double dip. Like, he had an African American male that was British.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, you can shit on Britain. Don't go the other route. Stay away from the other route.
God bless him. Let it be William Regal standing there, and he can spout all he wants. Because William Regal is one of the best heels of all fucking time. He can take it.
Yeah.
And he is, I don't know if this is a term, but he is openly British. Like, he is British to a fault. He is predominantly British. That man, even his face just screams British. He has like resting Brit face.
Resting Brit face. That's not Brit
But
face,
it's true though, right? Like
yeah.
I'm trying to make light, because I feel bad that he got released, and anybody that doesn't sign this guy when he's available to work with your company is a fucking fool. But William Regal is like the most British man ever.
Yes.
At least in wrestling. So if it was Cody and him, yeah, it's a great story. It's a great angle. But when it's Anthony Agogo, there are so many things wrong with that. Yeah. I can't even begin to tell you if you don't know. Even his wrestling style is openly British. Thank you, Brian.
Yes, it is.
It really is. That man wrestles openly British.
Yeah, like
it truly is. Like that would have been perfect. But Agogo being green, being black, being everything that he is, it's a horrible look on every possible fucking level. And it took you this long to realize that. Whoa.
What?
Impact Wrestling announced Mickie James is going to be in the Royal Rumble?
No, WWE announced Impact Wrestling's Mickie James is going to be in the Royal Rumble.
Is that how they announced it, or were they just saying Mickey's coming back?
How'd they announce it?
That is news to me.
Me too.
Even Brian in the chat is like, what? And I don't blame you, dude. That's how I'm feeling right now, live. Like, that is crazy. I would not be surprised. Well, I would be a little surprised if Mickie came back after everything. I'd be even more surprised if WWE announced that Impact's Mickie James is coming back.
No, it's true. We actually have a SmackDown thread kind of going on in Top Rope Wrestling Talk on Facebook. Yeah, there's a comment that says this Mickie James business could be a big deal. Talk about opening the forbidden door.
WWE announced Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion Mickie James will be at the Royal Rumble. That's how they announced it verbatim. Wow. Maybe this is why Impact is getting more and more like WWE. Now things are making sense, folks.
Yeah.
I'm excited and concerned at the same time. WWE's going to add a fourth show of the week. It's going to be Impact. Wow. Yes, wow, Ivan. We're all right there with you.
Yeah, that's
I'm sorry, I got to take a moment. I got to
crazy.
hit it. I don't know if it's ever been more deserved.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. They clearly have to. I bet you Mickey made them say all of that for her to come because they don't have enough women on the main roster and they're not going to pull up any of the
Well,
NXT women.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure they could bring some of the women from NXT, some of the veterans,
Well,
but
they could, but here's the thing, there's only
to
like
announce it and in that way, that could be huge. I
there's
don't know where
only
this is going, but it could be
there's
huge.
there's only like 15 or 16 women on the main roster. So here's the thing, if there's 15, you've got 15 other competitors.
Yeah,
And
that's
the
what I.
way and the way they did Mickey James dirty when they released her,
Oh
and they
yeah,
then they had the balls to call her and ask her to be in the Royal Rumble because they don't have enough women on their roster. She was probably like, "This is my stipulation. You pay me this much, and when you announce me as Impact's Mickey James
yeah.
Knockouts champion.
Impact
If
Knockouts
you
champion.
do not do that, I won't show."
Although that might mean that she's keeping the title against Deonna Purrazzo, so there could be that spoiler because they're fighting tomorrow at Hard to Kill for the Knockouts
Well,
Championship.
it could change.
So yeah, but they wouldn't announce her as Impact's champion,
Well, right
and then
when the announcement happened, is she the Impact Women's Champion?
currently, yes,
Okay, so that's why they said it because she currently is. It could change before the Royal Rumble, but
yeah,
it's probably not gonna because it probably truly was a
but
spoiler.
this could be big. Like I know it could be a one time thing, but could you imagine if like WWE starts working with Impact
No, they got Lita, the Bella Twins, Michelle McCool, and Mickey James.
this year? Wow.
So hold on, there's one, three,
Yeah, one, two,
five,
three, four,
six.
5, 6. Yeah, and before the show, I did go and quickly go over SmackDown and Raw's female roster, and there was maybe 20, maybe, and a few of them were and a few of them were like Bailey and Asuka and people who have been out with injuries forever.
Mm-hmm.
So
If you want me to believe this is a real Forbidden Door um scenario with WWE, I want Camille in the Royal Rumble. Then I will take their Forbidden Door shit
yeah,
seriously.
I don't know if NWA would do that though. They're making some big moves these
What are you
days, and I'm
talking
not
about?
sure.
Mickey James actually works for NWA.
Well, she works with
Sh-
NWA,
No,
but
she
she's
signed to them.
yeah, but she's predominantly been wrestling for Impact since the last pay per view. You know, like
Well,
she signed, but she signed as a producer and she had a couple of matches. But then she went back to Impact after she won the Knockouts title, and she's been there for a while now.
well, she's giving Camille her time to shine.
I just don't know if they'd bring. It'd be great. I'm just saying, you know, I don't know if they do that. It is cool that NWA is coming back to free viewing. I
Is
like
it?
that. Yeah, it's is it this weekend? I can't remember the dates exactly, but starting this year, they will be NWA USA is going to be on YouTube, and they're going to start with the junior heavyweight title tournament live free on YouTube, and then they're going to be free on Fight TV, and they give you a thing. It's kind of like your streaming service, your Impact Plus, your
Yeah, yeah.
WWE Network, whatever you want to call it, where you can pay $50 for the entire year and get the first airings of like all the powers, whatever, and get all their pay per views.
Okay.
So like they have like 6 pay per views a year, so you get all their weekly shows and there's 6 pay per views for $50 a year
Hmm.
instead of paying 15 to $20 for each pay per view too. So yeah, and New Japan got back on access with Impact. They're even talking about bringing WoW back there, possibly, but I haven't. Jury's still out.
Is WoW still in business? Oh my god, it's got a cramp.
No, they're coming back.
I thought they went out of business.
They did, and now they're on their way back.
Oh.
They've got Tessa
They pulled an
Blanchard.
ROH?
Yeah, they got Tessa Blanchard. They got AJ Lee doing commentary, working behind the scenes.
Yeah, she's a producer and stuff.
Yeah, they got a bunch of talent, like names and indie girls and that kind of stuff, and they're working their way back too. So, I mean, it's at least an exciting time to be around wrestling because we're getting, we're getting the returns of some things like NWA coming back to free TV. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
I miss Power on YouTube. I really do. I heard.
Oh hell yeah!
WoW is with ROH's new plans. That would be a great move when ROH
For both
decides.
companies.
Yeah. And no, I don't think Access should have got rid of New Japan either, but
they
did, and now they're bringing them back. They got Impact Wrestling, and they went, okay, cool, go away, New Japan.
And then they were like, oh wait, we still need you.
And they're like, holy shit, hey, New Japan, you want to come back?
Right? Hey, I'm sorry, but I need your help.
Or maybe they just realized people watched nothing else on Access TV, because that could be a thing too.
Yeah.
I mean, they have some like low grade MMA stuff, but mostly it's like concerts you don't give a shit about, movies you don't want to watch, infomercials, and wrestling.
Whoa. Jonathan Gresham, ROH World Champion, will be on Progress Wrestling, which
is on Peacock.
Which is owned by WWE. Progress owns WWE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, maybe they're giving ROH people tryouts because they want to put them on these type of shows. And it would make sense for them because guys like Gresham are running around trying to keep ROH's name in people's mouths, that sort of thing. So that way when they do come back, people are like, oh yeah, Jonathan Gresham, right? He was here, there, and everywhere. He was at Hard to Kill. He's gonna be on Progress. He's doing this.
I still want to see Bryan Danielson win the Pure title and defend it on Dynamite.
I thought that was tomorrow, Ivan. Thank you. Yes, NWA USA on YouTube. The junior heavyweight title starts tomorrow. This is a big fucking week for wrestling. I mean, you got your Raw and your SmackDown, your NXT. Then you had Dynamite on TBS. You got Rampage tonight after SmackDown. Then tomorrow you get Battle of the Belts and the junior heavyweight title tournament starting and Hard to Kill. I don't have enough televisions for this.
Yeah, I don't. I
have to set up a command center with like my 2 laptops, my TV, and just put them all on different shit.
That's a lot.
You're gonna see me live on this too, going, "Welcome to the ADD watch along." I don't know what to tell you about first. Fuck.
Right. Right.
Oh look, there's Cody. Wait a minute, is that Jonathan Gresham? No, that's the other show. Sorry. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Help.
Please help.
You just hear like three separate commentator teams coming at me at the same time, like Velvet and Tim Storm one side, they got Excalibur over here. Josh Matthews, for fuck's sake, I hate that guy.
Is he back on commentary?
I guess with Matt Stryker being released, they would have
him
to go
and
back.
D'Lo?
Yeah, because him and D'Lo were doing the weekly shows, and then Stryker would do the pay-per-views, and then they're gone now.
NJPW versus Noah as well tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Jesus, I forgot about that one, too. Everything is happening this week. We get 12 months in a new year, right? Like, you don't have to do it all, like, week 1.
But Japan does all their big
and we have Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wrestle Kingdom Part 2, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Okada, by the way.
Yeah.
I am so glad the Rainmaker's back on top, and he's already been talking about the possibilities of having a match with Bryan Danielson or CM Punk.
Yes, he said he wants to make that happen sooner or later because they're on his bucket list.
Can you wait till like next week? Because this week's kind of packed,
right? Look, Danielson lost a little bit of blood on Wednesday. Let him get it
Yeah,
back, and
Danielson's a
then
little fucked up. You've been in those wars. You know how that goes. He needs a little time, lick his wounds. Can you wait like a week or two? Just give us all a chance to like.
you know what I'd like to see is you remember when John Cena was always calling out the Undertaker when he wanted his WrestleMania match with him, and he kept
Yes.
calling him out, and Undertaker didn't
Do
show.
something.
Do something. What if we did that? What if we had got that same scenario with Bryan Danielson calling out Okada every week for like a month and a half, and then all of a sudden Okada shows up out of nowhere,
It would be wonderful.
hits him
I don't
with a
know if we could
Rainmaker.
squash him. I don't know if we could squash him the way Taker did Cena. That was hilarious.
No, you know that wouldn't happen.
Do something. Boom.
Danielson's too good to get a ball sack in the face when he gets pinned.
Yes, that's tomorrow as well, Ivan. Oh, it was night. I forgot Wrestle Kingdom's 3 nights now. My bad, Ivan. It was night 3.
Nights? Do you know what that means? That means WrestleMania is going to become 3 nights.
Please no. Please no. I can put up with Wrestle Kingdom, not WrestleMania. No.
But the thing is WWE didn't go 2 nights until Wrestle Kingdom did.
I know. I mean, I'm glad they split it up. I am. But I can't do 3. I can do 3 nights in New Japan. That shit is entertaining.
Yeah.
That shit is absolutely entertaining and thrilling. I cannot do 3 nights of WrestleMania. I just can't. Last year, night 1 was great. Night 2 was like, what the fuck is going on? If they do night 3, I'm gonna be dying from boredom. Just get it over with. I gotta put my kid on a bus. Get it over with.
Yeah, I've come to a conclusion that the only WWE pay-per-view that I watch on a regular basis is the Royal Rumble. That's the only one I like. I don't even know why. It's a goddamn battle royal, but that's the only one I watch. That's the one I like.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
You gonna make it?
Didn't want. Yeah, I just didn't want to cough on anybody. I caught the vapors, is what that was. I will be totally honest. I had nothing to do New Year's Day. I watched day 1, and I'll be and I'll be brutally honest. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It was actually pretty damn good. Like, they started out with New Day Usos. Can't go wrong there ever. They Edge and and the Miz had a great match. Beth Phoenix showed up. It was kind of cool. And then the 5-way was actually fucking amazing. It was actually great fucking television. Like, getting to see Bobby Lashley put Brock Lesnar through a security wall was like a dream come true. I have been waiting for one of them to get their hands on the other.
I don't know.
It was actually pretty good. I'm not saying it was the whole show. Some parts were like, meh, I could live without. But there's nothing else going on. It's New Year's Day. I'm chilling. I drank too much last night. I'll watch this.
So they had what, 3 decent matches?
Pretty much, yeah.
3 out of 7.
It was like 3 out of 5, 3 out of 6. That's pretty good for WWE. Extreme Rules had 0 out of everything. Okay. Actually, that's not true. I think that was the last Bailey Sasha match, and that one was kind of good. No, or was it Becky Sasha? I don't remember. But they might have had one good match out of the whole fucking card, maybe one. So to have 3 on the same show, and then seeing Brock Lesnar the next night mocking Roman Reigns, I was like, okay, I can get with this.
No.
I don't. Cadrian only watches Rumble and Money in the Bank. Yeah, I will watch that, but even that is like maybe. Like, Money in the Bank is a maybe in the bank. Like, maybe I'll go to Money in the Bank.
No.
Yeah, let's really hope they don't do night 3 of WrestleMania, Ivan. Unless they really open the forbidden door and compete against another promotion. That would be the only way.
Yeah,
that would be the only way.
That's not going to happen. You know that. I know that. It's not gonna happen. Yeah,
Don't you hate when you think you got to sneeze and it just doesn't come? You're like, the fuck? That was me just then. Sorry, folks.
Oopsie. My bad, yo.
I don't want to sneeze on y'all. True, you know.
You're not technically sneezing on us. You're sneezing on your shit.
Yeah, that too. But I'd also be sneezing in a mic, so whoever's listening is
like, what the fuck?
especially on the podcast, like the audio version afterwards. Like, what the shit was that? Like you're in your car, you jerk off to the side of the road, crash into a tree, all because I sneezed on you.
Sorry.
Whoops.
My bad, yo.
Whoops. But yeah, go back to before we derail, like Okada versus one of those two versus both.
Yeah.
And chaos has already been established in AEW.
And there's already been Okada talks.
Yeah. But I mean, you already have like Rocky Romero running with like Beretta and Best Friends and Orange Cassidy, and they're calling them Chaos. At one point, they even played the Roppongi Vice music when he and Beretta were in the same ring. I was like, yeah.
A couple times.
I was like, fuck yeah. Fuck this best friend shit. We need Roppongi.
Right? Like I feel like Trent's the real tag team whore, not Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
I really feel like Trent's
well,
a tag
if
team whore.
Trent is the tag team slut because he goes from one to another. Jericho's the tag team whore because he makes all kinds of money in these teams. There's a difference. There's levels to this pimp game in wrestling, and I'm trying to explain it to y'all right now.
Oh man.
Sorry. I know, I'm stupid. I get it.
God, I'm fucking yawning over here like, holy shit.
It's just nice that Brucey's not freezing anymore. That's all I have.
Oh, it's so nice.
So I get to see him smile at this stupid shit.
I got the desk in the new position. I'm good.
Right?
But,
I got my backdrop set now.
Well, Dom.
Yes, sir.
What are your final thoughts for this week?
Oh man. This is a congested week of wrestling, and yes, I love it, but god damn, you got to give me a break. Like my wallet and eyes can't handle all this.
Right?
and as much as I do enjoy a good celebrity cameo, I have no idea outside of budget cuts and talent being gone why Johnny Knoxville is in the Royal Rumble.
The Jackass Forever is going to be coming out shortly after.
Gotta capitalize. That's all I can think.
He's doing it to promote his movie.
That's all I can think. But it's just like, you see Johnny Knoxville and he's just gray haired and he kind of looks like a meth addicted version of Colonel Sanders. And he's talking about he's going to be in the Rumble. And you're like, why?
He's gonna get in there. He's gonna get choke slammed, body slammed, friggin' clothesline. He's gonna get destroyed, and then they're gonna throw him out. Is exactly what's gonna happen.
Listen, how do you hurt Johnny Knoxville after all the shit he's done to himself? A choke slam is a walk in the park to this guy,
right?
Put him through a table. He's like, whoop. I've been thrown through a brick wall on MTV. What do you think a table is going to do?
I went bungee jumping in a shit house. What do you think's going to happen?
Exactly. He's thought up shit that even wrestling promotions haven't thought of.
Mick Foley wasn't even crazy enough to do that shit.
No, that's what I mean. Mick Foley and Terry Funk are watching reruns of Jackass going, oh, damn, that must have hurt.
Ooh.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. Like, weren't you in an exploding cage? Yeah, but that looked painful. Yeah, that's about all I got. It's a bloated week. I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying. I'm excited for a lot of it, but I'm also broken tired. So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, my final thoughts for the week. I mean, it's not even. Yeah, there's just so much wrestling on. Like there's too much at some point. It's hard to keep up.
It really is.
But
It
I
really is.
love,
Hence why
I
I was.
love.
Hence why I totally forgot there was night 3 of Wrestle Kingdom. I apologize,
Yeah.
guys. I really. It all blended together for me, honestly.
But at the same time, I do love the fact that a lot of these wrestlers are getting some more attention. So, okay, Dream, you want 5 nights of WrestleMania, bro.
I was gonna say that's a beautiful final thought right there. WrestleMania
Yeah.
3 nights. Oh hell
Hell
no!
no.
It's an urban legend that never.
Oh, that was not what I
No,
wanted.
it's an urban legend.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
That's a great episode.
No,
That's a
no,
great episode.
no.
By the way. That's a great episode.
I knew you were gonna love that.
So with all of that being said, let's ramble off some social media for everybody out there in the podcast world and YouTube. You can check us out on Facebook at Top Rope Wrestling Talks. You can find us in 2 places, one name. We have our group, which is where we do all our fun shit and where we talk shit and do our threads and our forums and just have fun. There's our Facebook group. Then we also have our Facebook page, which is designated strictly to this show that we've got to update a few things, but we're working on it. It's been a busy time, but we're working
really
on
has,
it. We're going to get some more stuff on there and get some stuff out. You can also find us on Twitter at Top Rope WT. Always on fire, always going off. Then you can also find us on Instagram with the worst name
The absolute worst.
ever. The absolute worst name.
Absolute bottom of the barrel worst.
But here's the thing: none of us want to change it.
None of us, because it's the worst.
Change it because it's the worst. So
it's the worst fucking name you could have. What's better than the worst?
It's
the best worst.
It's at top_rope_wrestling_talk. There it is, Instagram. Go on there, check us out. So since Wendy's not here, Dom, tell the world where they can listen to us and buy our merch.
Hundo P, son, suck the farts out of my. Oh no, wait, I don't have to do all that.
Wendy's showed up.
All right. So you can catch our audio podcast pretty much wherever they're where they're enjoyed. But if you go to anchor.fm/TRWT, you're going to see all our episodes there. You're going to see all our platforms outside of iHeartRadio. You have to go there and search for us, but we're on there. People listen, and we love them for it. You can also catch us on the WrestlingIndex.com. All of our episodes are there as well. And we're working on a few more places. Please come and cop your merch. And I forgot to bring it in, or I would show you the shirt at trwtmerch.threadless.com. We have everything under the sun. I may even do something with these trading cards that you saw at the beginning and try to put that together as a logo, put that on a shirt, or maybe just one for each of us. I don't know yet, but I'm thinking about it, working it out. Maybe even this background will just be on a shirt. But you can also get mugs, magnets, stickers, pillows, beach towels, blankets, notebooks, you name it, we got it. trwtmerch.threadless.com. And if you do happen to be out there in podcast land and listening to these lovely angelic voices,
hey, that's pretty good.
I know, right? You can always come and check us out on our YouTube channel where we do this live. That's where you're hearing that's where the comments come from when you're listening back. That's where all the exclusive content is. That's where the Sports Syndicate podcast is, where we talk about NFL and basketball and just whatever the hell's going on that week. Just come and search for TRWT (a Fox Den John, JAWN. and subscribe while you're there. Ring the bell so the next time we do these live feeds, you can catch us, get involved, and then come back and listen to us again. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Ask these guys in the live chat. It's fucking fun.
We have a good time.
We have a great time.
Hell yeah.
We always have a better time with Wendy, but it's a great time nevertheless.
Yes. So I'm gonna say it.
Say it.
I'm gonna say it.
Say it.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
There it was. Everybody enjoy all the wrestling that's out there. If it's not your cup of tea, let somebody else drink it. And get well, Grandma.
Yes. Get well, Wendy. Deuces.
Deuces, y'all.